good morning everyone, welcome back. So I'm here, the old Dubbo jail, and this is pretty crazy. I was here like to you get tonight is IW Wrestling. This is their bed. Their sleep on. It's crazy. I've been locked in a cell for 20 years. I see everyone you voices and stuff, but yeah. The boxing good guys, so let's go. This always creeped me out, guys. So it's two mannequins trying to escape through the roof, which I think is pretty uncool. This will always creep me out. That was always creeping me out, guys. They're trying to get down the roof. Just staring at you all night long. Now this is pretty cool. There's actual people buried here. Just over these hills, a little bit wet. Here in Dubbo. That's pretty creepy but cool. The women's area, female division. Do this one. Alright, so this is the exercise yard. It's just not big.
see us prisoners have eyes and ears in this place everywhere, so I actually know all the escape attempts that's happened throughout the jail history. So everything I'm about to tell you today is completely historically accurate. And we know this from police reports, newspapers, infirmary reports, charge sheets down the back, so everything I'm about to tell you is completely true. And if I don't tell you anything else, it's probably a lie anyway. So, the very first story I'm going to tell you is by the name of Frederick William Clifford. That's a really long name, so I'm just going to call him Freddie, you see. So Freddie was in here for burglary. He stole a few things, like that man over there, he stole some bread. So he was in here on remand. Does anyone know what remand means? You know what remand means, sir? You've been on remand before? So what remand means, sir? Charges pending. Basically, he hadn't gone to court yet, the judge banged a hammer and said guilty or innocent yet. So he was still awaiting his trial in the remand yard, which is what this area is. The remand yard, as of when the jail closed, is actually down there. But he was here in a wooden picket fence in his own clothes. Usually I'm a lot more fashionable like people I've seen here today, you see. So he was in here on remand for burglary. So, in one day, he got quite sick of being in prison. So, I need a volunteer to help me tell the next part of the story. Volunteers. Who said what was your name? Frederick William Clifford. You're in here for burglary. Yes, applaud him for burglary. Fantastic. So, one morning, you organised with someone on a visitation day. So you let it be, open the door, exactly like that, and then you make a rope, and an iron hook, you tie the two together, you throw it back over, you hook on the rope, and you start climbing up this very wall here. He climbs up, and he gets out. Go Freddie, go Freddie! No! See, there's one little problem. Can anyone tell me, Freddie hasn't done yet, not done yet, can anyone tell me where the old Dubbo jail is? Middle of town, thank you sir. It's on the main street of Dubbo, the CBD, the busiest part. And Freddie has just jumped onto the street, clearly a prisoner, over very busy. Now unfortunately for Freddie, the head jailer at the time also lived on the main street of Dubbo. So use your imaginations. Head jailer on his porch, reading the newspaper, sipping a cup of tea, and he's dressing down flippers, watching the world go by. And he also comes to watch one of his prisoners run by as well. Run in front of the guard. And he was like, that's Freddie. Someone said him in prison. So then, it was a high-speed chase down the main street of Dubbo. So if you don't run, I will catch you. So he said, he's dressing down the slippers, go this way and this way. And then he takes one last turn into an alley. So, it was just the guard and Freddie in his alleyway, getting through the walls. Stop him from going anywhere. So what are you going to do? Yeah, he's going to put his fist up and he said he's going to fight you. Put his fist up, going to fight. But then the guard was a bit more smarter than that. So, he got his hand like so, stuck it in his dressing gown. So, and then Freddie goes, oh boy, your brains out. He didn't actually have a gun, you see, because it's his hand. So then Freddie goes, what do? You drop him in and you play for your life, Freddie, because you don't want to get shot to the face, you see. Exactly like that. So then he picks him right back up, drags him down the street, back into jail. So not very good for Freddie. A few wooden huts like so, and that's where they would put the prisoners at the time. This is where the first escape attempt happened with Patrick Johnson. Patrick Johnson was a 17-year-old boy and he stole some horses, you see, the very common thing to steal back in the day. So he got put into one of his here very portable cells, you see. And what happened was the guard would have to come around every hour or two, knock on the door, see if they were in there, they'd have to say they're in there, and the guard would have to walk on by because there wasn't any peepholes. They couldn't look through the little window like we have in the male division, but they would have to knock. So Patrick was a bit of a con man, you see. So what he did while he was doing his exercise during the day, he'd pick up bits of rocks and sticks and anything he could get his hands on and start laying it in his bed, you see. So he would take his shoes off and place them at the end of the bed and fill up his bed and then put over the sheet that looked a little bit like a person in there, you see. So when the guard come around and knock on the door, he let out a big sick noise. He'd go, blur, blur, can you do that for me? Make a big sick noise. Disgusting. Big sick noise. Disgusting. But then the guard was like, Patrick, you're not fooling anyone. I know you're not sick. So then he walked off. An hour later, the guard came back, knocked on the door. He let out even a bigger. Disgusting. It was so gross. But the guard still didn't buy it, you see. He was like, Patrick, you're not fooling me. An hour later, he knocked on the door and he let out a big... Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was actually not right because it was completely dead silent. And then the guard was like, oh my goodness, I killed Patrick Johnson. What am I going to do? So he ran to the door, opened the door and rushed to the bed. But Patrick was actually behind where the door was. All he had to do was run out, jump over the little wooden picket fence that was around his little building, and he escaped over to Narromine, you see. And we actually found him in Narromine because we actually found him in possession of illegal firearms, and he also stole another horse. He didn't really learn his lesson whatsoever. He just went and committed it in another town, where he brought him back to prison, and he got 6 months added on top of his original sentence. So he spent a little bit more time in one of these portable cells. Not very good for him. That system didn't really work. Any questions? Did I just do a fantastic job? Yes. Yes.
Did you say he was Patrick?
His name was Patrick. Yes, that is correct. Thank you for listening to the story.
Patrick is in SpongeBob.
What's SpongeBob? I don't even know what SpongeBob is. What's a movie? Okay, so we're just going to talk about a girl. Spoiler alert, because we're in the female division. But we don't actually know her name, you see. It wasn't written on her charge sheet properly, maybe, or maybe it was rubbed off or scrubbed off. Long story short, we don't actually know her name. So I'm just going to call her the girl. How about that? We all look at that one first. So, the girl was also only 17, and she was in here for a charge of vagrancy. Anyone know what vagrancy is? What that crime is? You just know everything, sir, don't you? We want to tell the group what vagrancy is. Want to be my partner here?
No visible means of support.
No, well, she's using all these fancy words. Basically, she was a homeless bum. How about that, you see? So she was in for a homeless bum. And don't ask me why. It's just how the laws were back in the time. You weren't technically contributing to society, so it was considered a crime to be chucked in jail. And how someone would get charged for vagrancy is a police officer would dress up in their normal clothes and they'd run up to who they would suspect is a vagrant and they'd go, I'm just short a gold coin for a loaf of bread down the road. Can I just borrow a gold coin and pay you back later? And then you would say, you don't have any. You'd also say you don't have a house or a job or food, any money or a house. You basically just confess your whole crime to the police officer here. Then I would pick you up, chuck you in jail, and see if you were guilty or innocent. And that's what happened to this female. You're a girl, also on remand, hadn't been to court, which is actually just over the road over there, still to this day. She was also here doing her exercise. Any guesses of what the exercise might be? You don't know, sir. What's the exercise? He doesn't know. Anyone want to guess? Any other guesses? Skipping. Laundry. That's laundry, man, not exercise. Skipping. Would you like to demonstrate? Sergeants. Would you like to demonstrate vagrant? You're wrong anyway, so it's not sergeants. Not sergeants. Any other guesses? No.
Jumping jacks?
Jumping jacks. That's kind of just a different word for what she was doing, but you're wrong anyway. Any other guesses? What's your guess? Skipping, so she said, but it's also very wrong. Walking around in a big circle. Thank you so much, ma'am. I didn't want to do that for very much longer. So you see, this just here is the female exercise yard. So for an hour a day, every single day, every female prisoner would just walk in a big circle, rain, hail or shine, without talking, all in a big line, just like someone is here very young. So you see, you sir, you would be roughly where the matron would be sitting, which is that scary lady over there. She's the photo of her, so that's alright. So, you would basically be supervising all the females walking around in a big circle every day. What a job you have. So, can you just tell me if there's anything a bit fishy about my exercise routine? Can you do that for me, matron? You can't, okay. You're going to do it anyway. How about that? So if I'm walking here, can you see me? You can, thank you so much. If I walk here, can you see me, matron? He can, fantastic. Can I walk just a bit further? Can you see me? No, he can't. You know why? Because there's a blind spot in the corner just over there. And that's what this 17-year-old girl figured out when she was doing her exercise, when she wanted to escape prison, because she was sick of being in here, because I don't want to walk around every day, do you? No, you don't really. So, what she did is she sprinted into the blind spot where the matron couldn't see her, got herself between the wall and the drain pipe that's in the corner over there, singing her way all the way to the top of the wall over there, threw herself over, gracefully landed on the other side, breaking her ankle on on the floor down. You've got to give it to her though. She made it about 50 paces before she hid into a nearby bush. Can anyone tell me what that is though? It's the watchtower, it's the guard's tower. Basically, they saw the entire thing play out right in front of their eyes, you see. Thought it was quite funny when she snapped her ankle and fall down. So all they had to do was open the trapdoor in the floor, down the spiral staircase, out the door, basically right to her, pick her up and chuck her back in jail. How about that? Didn't really go too far for her. What was that? And heal her. Well, she actually would have spent some time in the infirmary just over there. Well, that'd be cool. But then the story's not over, you see. A few months later, when she actually went over to court, the judge was reading her charge. He was like, oh, I see you're in here for vagrancy. And the girl was like, yes, I'm going to get a higher house. I'm very sorry. And then the judge was like, well, seeming it's a very minor offence, and seeming you're very young, I'll let you go free. Based on the first offence, exactly how they let a lot of young people off in the time for little petty crimes, stop the jails from filling up so much. Then the judge kept reading. You see, and also saw that she tried to escape prison, which is illegal. So she got 6 months added on top of her original sentence of 0 months. So she got 6 months in prison for being impatient. Dubbo, he was in here in my... Sorry, you missed the start. Keith Dubbo, he was here in the male division. But his nickname was Keith the Milkman Thief. Can anyone guess why he got that nickname? How or why?
Because he stole a lot of milk.
Wrong. Was that your guess as well?
Yes.
Okay, any other guesses?
I just
Stole the money from them.
He stole the money from milk. That's the first time someone's actually guessed it. So basically, he beat the milkman to his job in the morning. Yes, good job, ma'am. So basically, the little bit of money you left out on your porch, Keith had already been there, took the money, next house took the money, and next house took the money, and so on and so forth. Eventually, he did get caught, have to pay it all back, and he spent his entire sentence in one of these thievery cells, where he got good friends with his cellmate, Bob O'Grady. Hey Bob, how you going, Bob? So, when it got time for Keith's release, he was just very upset because we were such great friends. I'm gonna miss you so much, Bob, really. And it was a mutual conversation. Bobby was also very upset, you see. He was crying and just didn't want to leave my friend Bob, you see. So, I'm gonna go celebrate for you, Bob. So what do we go do when we celebrate and get out of prison? You go to the milk bar, you see. So Keith went straight to the milk bar, had a few glasses of milk, and a few more glasses of milk, and a few quick little glasses of milk, and he got quite a bit lactose intolerant, you see. Oh, wait. Anyway, so in the dead of night, he didn't buy a ladder. He didn't steal someone's ladder. He actually made his own ladder out of sticks and ropes and things. In the dead of night, he propped it up on the wall over there and climbed up onto the roof just here with 2 big glasses of strawberry milk. Anyway, so he was walking along the roof here, where he was a bit wobbly because he was so drunk, lactose intolerant, and he actually ended up dropping one of the big bottles of wine into the jail floor here where it smashed, and the guards' watchdog started barking, so just bark.
Hello.
So the guards' watchdog chihuahuas were barking, you see, and woke all the guards up. And the guards came in here, saw Keith onto the roof of the male division here, and was like, Keith, mate, what on earth are you doing back? You got out only a few hours ago. And Keith was just like, I just miss Bob so much. I'm here to celebrate with Bob. Long story short, he did actually get to see Bob for quite a number of more months, you see, because breaking into jail is illegal, and bringing in an illegal substance of milk is also illegal, so he got roughly 6 months in prison back with Bob. Sad for him, he actually got put in a separate cell anyway, so bad luck for him, so just along told you today. They suck at escaping, that's right, man. They all got caught. Except one. There is one known successful escape attempt in the whole of Dubbo Jail's history, and his name was James Charles Watt. Can everyone say his name? James Charles Watt. He's a bit of an honorary member in our jail community. We love him very much because he was actually in the male division in that small little period where the male division was built, but these lovely walls were not. So you see, these walls were built in 1887, but this one was built in 1871, so it's a bit of a period where it was a wooden picket fence. So he was in here while those big steel doors also weren't there. They were just wooden doors. So all he had to do was smuggle in a 6-inch blade, which he did do. He smuggled in a 6-inch blade and was slowly carving out a little hole at the back of his door, you see. Jailer Burns at the time, which is before he actually did get burned in the kitchen just there, he used to say to all his prisoners, I'm free, you're not, there's nothing you can really do about it, it's only human nature that you want to be free. You're a prisoner, I'm a guard, there's nothing you can really do about it, it sucks for you, basically. So basically he always used to parade around the fact that he was free and that it's only human nature that they want to escape. So what James Charles Watt did when he finally carved out the hole in the back of the door, he left a little note for him, which I have conveniently just here, which I'm going to read to you now. Mr. Byrne, you cannot possibly take offence at my sudden departure, since you have said more than once that you could not blame a man for trying to make his escape. I have tried, by dint of much perseverance, and I trust that you will ever keep the little knife you find in my cell as a memento of Australian energy. So we actually know that that's exactly what this note said, because it was actually published in the public newspaper a few months after this escape attempt happened, because we couldn't find him anywhere. What we suspect happened is he actually made a trek all the way down to Victoria border, because as soon as he stepped over at the border, changing laws at the time means he was a free man as soon as he stepped over. So guilty, free man, guilty, free man. That's what we suspect happened to him. And then not long after that, those big steel doors were put in, because it really wasn't very sufficient for that. Any questions about that escape story?
Did they ever have barbed wire on the top of it?
They never had barbed wire on the top of it. It would have been really smart, would have saved a lot of people getting over, wouldn't it? But no, barbed wire is a little bit more of a newer thing, not on top of these walls. But don't tell the guards, because I really don't want it there myself. Any other questions? Anything about the jail in general? Fine, okay, yes. What was that, sorry? Burns did not die, actually survived. He got treated for all his burns and actually survived. Got a Medal of Honor for his escapes. Right, well I actually do take payment. Anything
I want you to walk out there onto the catwalk outside all the way to the end and look out into the jail. Have a good look around and keep a close eye on the sterile zone, which is the empty space nearest the perimeter walls. No prisoners are allowed in the sterile zone. You're armed with a carbine. If you see any prisoners go into that zone, shout a warning. If they try to escape, you're authorised to fire on them. There used to be another watchtower with a view of the front walls, but it was demolished in 1929. So this is it for a bird's eye view in the jail. Out you go now, and keep an eye over those prisoners. Oh, and when you're finished, the exit is down this trapdoor into the courthouse grounds.